The Claims of Vedanta on the Modern World. Report of a lecture delivered in Oakland on Sunday, February 25, 1900, with editorial comments of the Oakland Enquirer. The announcement that Swami Vivekananda, a distinguished savant of the East, would expound the philosophy of Vedanta in the Parliament of Religions at the Unitarian Church last evening attracted an immense throng. The main auditorium and anterooms were packed. The annexed auditorium of Vente Hall was thrown open, and this was also filled to overflowing, and it is estimated that fully 500 persons who could not obtain seats or standing room where they could hear conveniently were turned away. The Swami created a marked impression. Frequently he received applause during the lecture, and upon concluding, held a levee of enthusiastic admirers. He said in part, under the subject of the claims of Vedanta on the modern world. Vedanta demands the consideration of the modern world. The largest number of the human race is under its influence. Again and again, millions upon millions have swept down on its adherents in India, crushing them with their great force, and yet the religion lives. In all the nations of the world, can such a system be found? Others have risen to come under its shadow. Born like mushrooms, today they are alive and flourishing, and tomorrow they are gone. Is this not the survival of the fittest? It is a system not yet complete. It has been growing for thousands of years and is still growing. So I can give you but an idea of all I would say in one brief hour. First, to tell you of the history of the rise of Vedanta. When it arose, India had already perfected a religion. Its crystallization had been going on many years. Already there were elaborate ceremonies. Already there had been perfected a system of morals for the different stages of life. But there came a rebellion against the mummeries and mockeries that enter into many religions in time, and great men came forth to proclaim through the Vedas the true religion. Hindus received their religion from the revelation of these Vedas. They were told that the Vedas were without beginning and without end. It may sound ludicrous to this audience how a book can be without beginning or end. But by the Vedas, no books are meant. They mean the accumulated treasury of spiritual laws discovered by different persons in different times. Before these men came, the popular ideas of a God ruling the universe and that man was immortal were in existence. But there they stopped. It was thought that nothing more could be known. Here came the daring of the expounders of Vedanta. They knew that religion meant for children is not good for thinking men, that there is something more to man and God. The moral agnostic knows only the external dead nature. From that he would form the law of the universe. He might as well cut off my nose and claim to form an idea of my whole body, as argue thus. He must look within. The stars that sweep through the heavens, even the universe is but a drop in the bucket. Your agnostic sees not the greatest, and he is frightened at the universe. The world of spirit is greater than all, the God of the universe who rules, our Father, our Mother. What is this heathen mummery we call the world? There is misery everywhere. The child is born with a cry upon its lips. It is its first utterance. This child becomes a man, and so well used to misery that the pang of the heart is hidden by a smile on the lips. Where is the solution of this world? Those who look outside will never find it. They must turn their eyes inward and find truth. Religion lives inside. One man preaches, if you chop your head off, you get salvation. But does he get anyone to follow him? Your own Jesus says, give all to the poor and follow me. How many of you have done this? You have not followed out this command, and yet Jesus was the great teacher of your religion. Every one of you is practical in his own life, and you find this would be impracticable. But Vedanta offers you nothing that is impracticable. Every science must have its own matter to work upon. Everyone needs certain conditions and much of training and learning. But any jack in the street can tell you all about religion. You may want to follow religion and follow an expert, but you may only care to converse with Jack, for he can talk it. You must do with religion as with science. Come in direct contact with facts, and on that foundation build a marvelous structure. To have a true religion, you must have instruments. Belief is not in question. Of faith you can make nothing, for you can believe anything. We know that in science, as we increase the velocity, the mass decreases, and as we increase the mass, the velocity decreases. Thus, we have matter and force. The matter, we do not know how, disappears into force, and force into matter. Therefore, there is something which is neither force nor matter, as these two may not disappear into each other. This is what we call mind, the universal mind. Your body and my body are separate, you say. I am but a little whirlpool in the universal ocean of mankind. A whirlpool, it is true, but a part of the great ocean. You stand by moving water where every particle is changing, and yet you call it a stream. The water is changing, it is true, but the banks remain the same. The mind is not changing, but the body, how quick its growth! I was a baby, a boy, a man, and soon I will be an old man, stooped and aged. The body is changing, and you say, is the mind not changing also? When I was a child, I was thinking I have become larger because my mind is a sea of impressions. There is behind nature a universal mind. The spirit is simply a unit, and it is not matter. For man is a spirit. The question, where does the soul go after death, should be answered like the boy when he asked, why does not the earth fall down? The questions are alike, and their solutions alike. For where could the soul go to? To you who talk of immortality, I would ask when you go home to endeavor to imagine you are dead. Stand by and touch your dead body. You cannot, for you cannot get out of yourself. The question is not concerning immortality, but as to whether Jack will meet his Jenny after death. The one great secret of religion is to know for yourself that you are a spirit. Do not cry out, I am a worm, I am nobody. As the poet says, I am existence, knowledge, and truth. No man can do any good in the world by crying out, I am one of its evils. The more perfect, the less imperfections you see.